Chapter 11. Cat groans, feeling hot as she pulls back the woolen blanket that covers her legs, leaving it in a crumpled heap next to her on the couch. Sitting up, she feels her stomach somersault and she feels sick. Her head is heavy, throbbing with groggy dizziness. She rubs at her temples, massaging the side of her face, trying to ease the ache. She can't open her eyes because the bright daylight adds to her pain. Urgh! She moans, sucking in air, taking a long, slow breath as she drops her head into her lap. The blurred fog of nausea makes her feel unwell, and her hands won't stop shaking. Eventually she attempts a look, opening her eyes, doing everything in slow motion to ensure she doesn't move her head more than she needs. So, would you prefer juice or coffee? I did both. It's Digby's soft southern tone. There's a couple Tylenol there too, just in case you need them. She looks up, thinking this is not really the start to the day she had in mind, as he places both a cup of black coffee and a glass of fresh squeezed orange on the small table in front of her. Thanks, she says. Looking at him, she can see the sympathetic smile as he watches her, trying to focus. What the hell happened? She frowns, swallowing hard, still not sure if she's going to throw up. Even speaking a few words makes her brain feel like it might explode. I guess I must have drunk too much, right? No. He shakes his head, and still smiling, he brushes her hair away from her face. No, it wasn't your fault. Do you remember anything about what happened last night? Last night? She frowns, confused. Looking at the window, she's now aware of the bright sunlight. What the hell time is it? Just gone 8. She opens her eyes wide in surprise, and sitting bolt upright, she leans forward, forcing herself to her feet. Then, realizing quickly that was a bad move, she sits back down. Her voice fills with a tone of tense panic. Shit. I need to get dressed. I can't believe you let me sleep in like this. Oh, God. She rubs again at her head. Jackson. He's going to have a field day with me. How can I have been so stupid? Fuck. She's as much confused as she is panicked by the lateness of the hour. Hey, just relax, okay? No one's expecting you to go anywhere. But really, you don't remember what went on. Remember? Remember what? Her question is tinged with a hint of dread, and she's anxious as she tries to imagine how it's possible that she drank enough to feel the way she does, groggy and hungover with no memory of what went on. Do you remember drinking with Monroe? Monroe? Yeah. She nods. Yeah, kinda. Remember he went to the bar and then then I don't know. Sorry. She sighs, confused. His questions have a surreal weirdness to them. It's okay. The guy's an asshole. Look, don't worry. But just so you know, well, he slipped you a Mickey, spiked your drink. That's why you're feeling so bad. You really don't remember any of it? About leaving the bar and going outside? God, no. She gasps, worried. Her mind's racing, trying to make sense of what might have happened to her. Wait, what are you saying? Did he do something to me? She searches for scraps of memory, anything that will let her piece together the events of last night and make sense of what happened. Are you sure? All I remember is him getting me a drink, but now she looks down at her clothing and can see she's wearing one of Ryan's t-shirts, but also still wearing her bra underneath. Did he? Do I? She swallows nervously. Do I need to see a doctor? No. He crouches on his knees in front of her, shaking his head, taking a hold of her hand in his. No, don't worry, we got to you before he could do anything, he says with some air of assurance. Just don't worry, it's all been taken care of. He's been dealt with. Shit, she gasps. Again her eyes meet with his. She's filled with questions, and her confused discomfort is obvious. He smiles, wrapping his larger hand around hers, stroking his thumb gently over her knuckles, reassuring her. There's a creak as the front door opens, and as is usual for the team, Zach lets himself in without knocking. Hey, so how are things? Yeah, we're good. Digby presses the glass of juice in her hand. He and Zach exchange matching looks of concern. Just drink some juice, you're gonna be fine. She nods, quietly sipping at the cold orange. Her hands are shaking so much that it's a struggle to hold it. A gurgling surge of emotions builds in the back of her throat and she feels sick. Not for the first time this week, her usual sense of control has been taken away. But not being able to remember and losing all track of time is a horrid feeling, and not one she's used to. She hates it. She hates herself for getting into that situation, wondering if she encouraged him, gave him the wrong signals. Maybe she was being too nice? Frowning, she sighs, looking to Digby and Zach for the answers she doesn't have. Should I report him? I mean, to command or someone like Edwards? What do you think? She looks pitiful in asking them for help. She feels it. This really has not been the positive start to the week she hoped for when she arrived. I can't remember anything. It's gonna be my word against his, right? But I guess maybe I should. I mean, I need to make sure he doesn't do it again. To someone else. I told you it's all good and that it's been taken care of. Digby drops a look to Zach. We handled it. Handled it. She frowns, staring at the pair of them. What does that mean? What did you do? She waits for a response and she can see his hesitation. Ryan, I said, what did you do? Oh God, you didn't. She gasps. Please tell me he's alive? Yeah, he's alive. Though he sure as hell wouldn't be if it were left to me. Look, Darius just talked with him. Digby sighs, carefully wording what he says to her. He checks with Zach before he continues. He's gonna resign his commission today, so he'll be gone, and he won't be coming near you or anyone else again. You have my word, okay? She nods, sipping again at the juice, trying to quell the acidic bile that rushes from her stomach to the back of her throat. Taking long and slow breaths, she hopes to contain the nauseous feeling that's flooding her mouth. Her mind's racing, desperately trying to recall something, anything of last night, but she can't. It makes her head spin and she really is about to vomit. Sorry, I need the bathroom. Clamping her hand to her mouth, she gags and scurrying to her feet, she sways unsteadily. Digby tries to help, but she balks at his well-meaning offer, abrasively rejecting him. Needing his help is something she's unable to accept right now. He's helped enough. She pushes him away. Get the hell off me. I'm fine, I can manage by myself. Pulling away, she closes her eyes and takes a moment to regain her balance. Apologizing, he lets her go. He and Zach watch, powerless to help, while she unsteadily feels her way along the hall to the bathroom, using the wall for support. A collective sigh from the pair shows their frustration, as all they can do now is helplessly listen to the sound of her retching over and over. There's a lull and it goes quiet. Then the sound of water flowing, Cat taking a shower. Digby rakes his fingers through his hair, wishing he had something more to offer, something to undo what happened. You know, I can't believe he did this to her. I swear to God, if I get my hands on him again. Diggs, she'll be fine. It's just the after effect of the Mickey. That was some pretty potent stuff, but once it's out of her system she'll be back firing on all cylinders. For now she's just gotta ride it out. He frowns. Digby's unusually worried and Zach's concerned because it's not like him. Not over a woman. Look, man, while she's in there, there's something else we need to talk about. He looks to the hallway and, still hearing the water, her still in the shower. It's a good thing Ozzy picked this up last night. Zach hands Digby a cell phone from the back pocket of his pants. Whose is this? He frowns. Monroe's. He cocks his eyebrow. I want to know what you want me to do with it. Digby frowns, confused by the question. Zach again apprehensively checks the hallway as the sound of water has now stopped. Look, I managed to unlock it, and well, he's got photos on there, a lot of photos. Photos? Photos of what? Hushing his voice, Zach frowns, gesturing his hand toward the bathroom. What? He's got photos of Kat. Yeah, some of her running, talking, things from around the base, and then there are others from last night. There are a lot of photos of other girls too. Some are of things he's done. You know what I mean? I doubt if these girls are even aware. Zach shakes his head, the look on his face shows his disgust at what he's seen. Here, take a look, but I warn you, it's not good. You know, I don't care what Darius said, but now I've seen this, I think we've got to stop him for good. But can you delete these photos of Kat and those other girls? Digby frowns, rubbing his head as he swipes his finger across the phone, scrolling the contents. He shuts his eyes, blocking out the images, sickened as photo after photo flashes on the small screen, until the gist of Monroe's habits is imprinted on his brain. He switches it off. That fucker needs dealin' with, he says, taking a deep breath as he recognizes the ones of Kat. Please tell me you can delete these, right? Yeah, sure. I just needed to check that's what you want me to do first. I need to get into his cloud drive, but that's not an issue. It'll just take a little time, that's all. The asshole has everything backed up online storage. I'll just need a couple of hours to get past the security proto. He hushes, his voice breaking off the conversation. Digby quickly hands him the phone back. Zach slides it into his pocket out of sight. Kat's now wrapped in Digby's terry robe, her hair still wet from the shower. Standing watching them, she frowns. I hope you don't mind I borrowed this? She gestures to the soft gray hooded robe. It's much too big for her, but comfortable and so cozy, and the plus side, it smells of Digby, which for some reason helps her relax. Sure, it's fine. He kisses her forehead. So, how are you feeling now? Yeah, I'm okay. I'd like to say better, but my head feels like I've been hit with a breech hammer. She forces a smile, which is more about making them feel okay than her. Deciding she needs a fresh coffee, she fills the machine with water, then fumbles with the filter before adding the ground coffee. She turns around, she knocks the mug from the counter, smashing it on the floor. Fuck, she curses. Oh hell, I'm sorry. Here, let me clear it up, you sit down. No, she snaps abruptly. No, I'm fine, I can do it myself. She bends, picking up the broken pieces. Her head aches. Fuck it. She sighs as she cuts her thumb. Then, nearly in tears, she relents. Slumping down, she just can't find the energy to do it. Kat, it's okay, leave it. It's fine. It's just a damn mug, no big deal. Yeah, okay. She sniffs, nodding as he helps her to her feet. She can't look at either of them in the eye, and quickly brushes a solitary tear from her cheek. She just feels so vulnerable, and it's not something she's ready for. Sorry, oh god, it's not me. I don't feel like me. Can't focus. And I can't damn well stop shaking. She sighs, throwing up her hands in frustration. She takes a deep breath as another tear rolls down her cheek. Hey, Zach says, smiling, attempting to ease some of the pressure he can see she's feeling. You know it's fine to feel this way, helpless and a little out of control. Someone hit me with a roofie once for a joke, and I can't tell you how shit I felt for a good couple of days. But you know that, right? Mean you're a goddamn medic, so you're gonna know the effect of those drugs better than me. All I'm saying is go easy on yourself. No one here's Jin. Monroe did this, not you. Pep talk over, he smiles. Thanks, but I am judging me, she says. Calming herself, she nods. Glancing up, and she catches him with a quick smile. Sorry, look, I know you mean well, but I just can't be feeling like this. Oh, you know what, just forget it. She takes a long, slow breath and looking at Digby. So what's going on with the cell phone? Cell? What do you mean? You know, when I came into the room, you stopped talking and you handed Zach a phone. So what's going on? Oh, it's nothing. Well, nothing for you to worry about anyways. He tries to bluff, but she's not buying it and frowns, watching their expressions, the side glances and nonverbal communication. Okay, Ryan. Eva. Just been roofied. Please stop this bullshit and tell me what the fuck's going on. Look, it's nothing, oh hell, he says. It's embarrassingly dumb. Stupidly locked out my phone. You know, too many password attempts and boom. I'm locked out. I swear the damn thing hates me. Zach knows how much I can't stand tech stuff. Hell, that's his department, right? So he's gonna take a look and get me back in, it's no biggie. She frowns, not believing the story he's spinning. Something doesn't feel right, and she can tell he's lying by the subtle changes in the tone of his voice. Ryan, you seriously want me to believe that you got locked out of your phone? Yeah, 'cause that's what happened. He sighs, grinning, giving her another of his come play with me looks, hoping to divert her attention. Don't do that. She frowns, watching as the two of them shift and shuffle, giving sideways looks to each other. Okay, what is it? What's really going on? Folding her arms, she glances at them, looking one to the other. Not moving, she waits for a more plausible explanation. It doesn't come, and they both just stand there quiet. Okay, give me the damn phone. Come on, Zach, hand it over. I know you have it, because I saw you put it in your pocket. They both don't move, and she asks again. Zach, I said give me the goddamn phone. Zach sighs, slowly dragging the cell from his back pocket, reluctantly handing it over. Look, Kat, I'm gonna fix this, he stammers, getting ahead of any questions she might have. Fix what? When he doesn't answer, she raises her voice, though it makes her headache pulse. I said fix what? Well, I'm waiting, so one of you better tell me. Frustrated, she focuses on looking at the screen. It's unlocked. Zach took the password off, but right now he regrets doing that as he watches her scroll the messages and then the photo files. At first, she only sees the other women. What the hell is this? She looks up quizzically. Wait, are these women Monroe's been with? Zach shrugs. He doesn't know, but he guesses they are, and as she takes a breath, she's almost afraid to ask anything else. Oh, God, he's got photos of me on here. When the hell did he take? Oh no. She rubs her head as a vague memory flashed in her mind. Gripping tightly, she holds the phone as Digby tries to take it from her. Cat, give me the phone. You don't need to worry about this because Zach will get them deleted. All of them. I promise, like him, they'll be gone, erased. Deleted. She's so angry and embarrassed. Hurt and humiliated, her nose wrinkles as she tries to hide it, hitting the delete button again and again, sending them to the trash file. Frantically she tries to erase the evidence of last night's assault. No, I'll take them off myself. I don't want you. Don't want anyone to see these. Cat, just stop, alright? Zach gently pries the phone from her grasp. I need to get to the source, so it'll take a bit of time, but I'll fix it, I promise. You. She nods, taking a deep breath, trying desperately not to cry. Gee. Sucks in air, looking away so they don't see her. Hey, it's okay. Just let it out and then you'll feel better, Digby says. Let it out? What, cry like a girl you mean? Prove you alright that I can't handle my shit? No, it's not me. I don't do this, hell, I'm stronger than this. But right now she doesn't feel strong, and the harder she tries to not show her feelings, the more her rage burns deep inside. Monroe has messed with her emotions, and now she is struggling with an inner turmoil, the voice of an angry demon kicking at her from inside, desperate to seek revenge on her perpetrator for making her feel this way. Gritting her teeth, there's a low growl of anger, and she shakes her head desperately, trying to resist the overwhelming urge to act on her emotions. Ryan frowns. He can see her emotional pain and the struggle she's having to control it. He's worried and grabs hold of her, wrapping her tightly in his arms. Hey, it's okay. Shush, just calm down, alright? It's okay to cry. It's just the drugs messing with you. Trust me, you're gonna be fine, but you need to calm down. No, she cries, leaning her forehead against his chest as he holds her. Shit. I'm sorry. She takes a breath and looks up. Sorry, goddammit. I'm always gonna be the weak link, right? With this team, it will always be me. Things like this, it wouldn't have happened to you, Zachas. It just wouldn't. You'd have stopped him and fought him off. Done something, not let him. Hey, come on, you're okay, but you're wrong. Hell, I wouldn't have been able to stop him if it were me. Cat, you're not thinking straight. He drugged you. Which means it wasn't a fair fight, and you had no way of defending yourself. Even me and Zach can't fight something like that. This is not your fault, you did nothing wrong. He's right, says a voice from the doorway, loud and clear. This is on. Monroe. Darius stands over them, folding his arms. The atmosphere always changes with his presence in the room, his imposing size. The air instantly cools and the hairs on her neck prickle as they always do when he's close by. She glances up, catching his gaze, the stare of his mauve eyes focused on hers. It lasts only a second, but it's so intense. She feels embarrassed because she so wanted to prove she could be strong, keep her head, and be one of this team. But so far she's failed in every way. In her mind she's proved nothing. You were right. When I arrived, you told Edwards I would be no good in this team, and something like this, it proves it. I am a weakness, and that makes your team vulnerable. Darius laughs, almost sneering, his demeanor arrogant as he stands next to the couch chewing his peppermint gum, looking at her. That's what you really think. She nods, the frown etched into her face, and she's readily expecting a smug comment to come. After all, she'd already proved him correct. He grins. Well, that's just bullshit. For one thing, my team is never vulnerable, and second, I don't tolerate weak links. It's for me to find out. Few are one, by the way, and you can cut this bullcrap. This mess is on one person, and they're not in this room. So, shut the hell up and go get some rest. I just came over to let you all know that I'm kicking the exercise back a day. It'll give you a chance to recover. Seems only fair, and well, I don't want Digby to keep kicking my ass for not giving you a chance. Oh, and don't Worry about Monroe, he's been taken care of. I gave him a warning. He glances up at Zach and Digby. So trust me, he won't be bothering anyone. Again. She swallows. Her frustration has built to such a degree she feels sick again. She wants to rage and scream but can't, not with them all staring at her. Excuse me, I need to go and lay down, I'm feeling tired now. Zach's right. That drug. It's messing with me and I need to go sleep it off. Cat. Digby smiles. Take my bed. She frowns with concern and he knows what she's thinking. He laughs. No. I don't mean that. Just that it's bigger, more comfortable than that fold-out you're on. I'll get that sorted out today too. He says sympathetically. She takes a breath, looking at the others. On any other day she'd have refused his bed, thinking it was just his way of readying her for more sex. But the feel of space and the soft mattress, it's too much comfort to refuse. She nods and heads to the room opposite hers. The stare from the three pairs of pitying eyes is too much to deal with right now. She readily falls against the pillows, taking a deep breath and thinking how good the bed feels, so warm and comfortable, and just like his robe, the bed smells of Ryan. Closing her tired eyes, she buries her head against the pillow, absorbing his comforting familiar smell. She quickly falls asleep. Look, I gotta go, I've got a briefing with Edwards, Daria says. He might have something lined up once we get through this exercise. Diggs, for today. You stay here, keep your eyes on her. And when I say keep eyes on, I don't mean horizontally on top of her, he says, rolling his eyes. Zach, round up. The others, you take lead. Get them to the shoot house, I'll meet you there as soon as I'm done. Hey Dee, Digby frowns. You gotta know she's strong. I don't know why the hell you can't see it, but there's a lot more to her than this. You've gotta know I'm right. Well, I hope you are, we'll see. You know I'm not going to go easy on her. Just because of this, I need to know for sure that she's not a weakness for this team. And that includes you. She'll be fine. She's got what it takes, I know she has. I've just gotta get her to prove it. All right. Well, I'm gone. And Zach, stop wasting time, get going. They both nod, watching as Darius leaves. So you want me to stay? Zach asks. No, you heard him, go get the others and I'll check on her. Yeah, sure, you check on her. Zach laughs. We'll talk about that other thing later. Get your mind out of the gutter, Ryan says. But yeah, keep that safe. For now, I need to think about how we sort that problem. Half asleep on the couch, headphones in and his eyes tight shut, Digby's nose itches and he sniffs. Taking a deep breath in, he sits upright and pulling the music out of his ears, he turns around. Cat scent overwhelms him. Hell, you smell good. He's confused, looking at her clothing, it's not the kind of attire he'd imagine her wearing. A short, plain black dress that fully buttons from the scoop neck to the hem. Her hair is tied up on top of her head. And she has a pair of white canvas sneakers on her feet. Wait, are you going somewhere? Yeah. I need some air and so I thought I might go for a run, shake this headache off. She smiles. You don't mind, do you? Mind? No, but, well, that's hardly the outfit for runnin'. He laughs, but then his face quickly changes to a frown. Baffled, he questions her more. Okay, what's going on? It's his turn to suspect her of not telling him everything. Run, walk, slip of the tongue, but does it matter? I told you I need some air. I might be a while, so if you're not here when I get back, it's fine. Hey, no, just wait up. How about I come with you? We can get some air together. He smiles, still curious about what she's doing. I just think maybe it's not a good idea if you go out by yourself, not till that sedative wears off. Please. I'll be fine, I promise, and it's just something I have to do on. Well, I need to do it by myself and so you can't come. Sorry. Why? Cat, what the hell are you up to? Please just don't make this an issue. I need to clear my head and work through a few things. Trust me, I'll be fine. I do trust you, but why won't you trust me? I can't, I'm sorry, not with this. You wouldn't understand. Look, I need to go. Staring as he reads her expression and body language, he sighs. Yeah, sure I would. Maybe you don't know me as well as you think. He picks up his keys. I know somewhere we can go, be alone. Somewhere you can run in peace, somewhere no one will see. He smiles, holding the door open. Just say the word, I'm ready. Swallowing nervously, she takes a deep breath, and as she does, the heady scent of his aftershave prickles her nostrils. Its heavy musk tone makes her high. And then, opening her eyes wide staring, they both focus on each other. His ice blue eyes glow brightly as he concentrates on the cool jewel green of hers. And she smiles, biting her lip nervously, a coy drop of her head as she bows, teasing him before her eyes meet his again. She makes a quiet snarl as she nods. Okay. Suddenly, it's like she's had a revelation. Taking a breath, she steps closer. Inches in front of him, her eyes focusing on his face and drawing a mental picture of what she sees, she imprints it into her mind. He takes a deep breath and closes his eyes. The prickling sensation of her touch on his cheek, her fingers stroking the side of his face is nice and he grins. Okay, come on. Chapter 14. It's hot, the air's dry, and in the rough sandy terrain it's hard to hold formation. Keeping the correct distance apart is nigh on impossible. They've marched a long way in armpit-soaking conditions, having been dumped unceremoniously by parachute into the middle of nowhere. Classified location of barren wasteland which, with its high daytime temperatures and cold nights, gives a varying range of operating conditions. The military owns this godforsaken desert for one purpose, testing the special forces. Kat looks around and smiles. This could easily be a film set staged as it is. With varying props, villages, booby-trapped abandoned vehicles, landmines, and IDs. The arena also comes stocked with token tangos, a highly trained group of military personnel or instructors signed up to try to kick the butts of operators, failing miserably on most occasions. Add in vehicles and hellos, arriving from nowhere depending on the scripted scenario each commander or team leader chooses, and it's a great place to train. This time Darius implemented an endurance test, a physically demanding long-haul trek to drain their energy and push their stamina levels to the extreme limit. After a 12-click hump across the vast desolate scrub, Kat's already starting to wonder what other surprises their leader might have in store. Sure that just walking in midday desert heat won't be enough for him to test this team. She's also starting to notice the strain on her calf muscles from the rough rocky ground and soft sand, which feels like walking in quicksand. The pace is intense, and she's convinced the further they go the faster Darius leads them. Sweating profusely, the back of her shirt is soaked, and with her kit weighted against her spine it doesn't allow air to circulate. Sipping water from her camel pack, the armor plate on her tactical vest feels heavy against her chest, making her uniform stick, and breathing is difficult. All that sweat and kit rubbing is going to lead to some serious chafing issues in various crevices of her body. Zach, you need to drink some more. I noticed you've hardly had any in the past 15 minutes. He ignores her and she sighs loudly. Zach, did you hear me? You need to. Yeah, I hear you. Who the hell can't with your constant whining? Do this, Zach. Do that, Zach. I think I preferred it when we didn't have a medic. So what are you keeping tabs on me now? He turns around, his deep blue eyes glare fiercely, and he slows his pace, dropping back in the line until he's walking beside her. Just 'cause you got digs by his balls, it don't mean you got me. I might be his number 2, but that don't make me yours. Are we clear? Yeah, I'm sure. Sorry, but what the hell is this about? She frowns. All I meant was you need to keep up your fluid intake in this extreme heat. It's kinda my job, Yeah, right, well, I'm just making sure we understand each other. I ain't no lapdog for your pussy, right? He's hot and frustrated, and stepping up his pace, he quickly moves back to his original position, distancing himself from her. She takes a breath, confused. Feeling awkward about his comments, she turns around looking at Ozzy. He's bringing up the rear behind her and he smiles, silently mouthing, "Don't worry, ignore him." She nods and smiles. But what Zach said, it's about her relationship with Ryan. And as she feared, it's already interfering with the team. Now looking up, she grins, watching as Zach takes a long drink of water, and turning again she smiles at Ozzy. He winks knowingly as he hands her half his candy bar, and she thanks him. It's small but right now a welcome gesture. As she turns back facing the front, Zach's steely blue eyes now focused, looking at her. It makes her uncomfortable, and ignoring him she looks to the front of the line where she can see Digby and Darius striding forward. She smiles, watching them, noticing the way they walk side by side, making it hard to tell exactly which one of them is actually leading the team. Watching Digby, she can't help thinking how sexy he looks, his large muscular frame dressed in full combat gear. She sighs, taking a breath. Then checking herself, she squashes the feelings because this is exactly what she didn't want to happen. Hey! Ozzy's at her side, having picked up his pace, and he walks backward next to her, which concerns her in case he might fall. Be ready, he mouths quietly. Why? What's going on? She frowns. Zach also drops from the line next to her on the opposite side. He means to be ready because things are about to go down, he whispers. What do you mean? What's about to go down? She's confused and looking around the vast barren landscape. She can't see anything of concern. A nervous apprehension sets in and her heart beats faster as her eyes continue scanning the open empty sand. Darius, he'll be dropping a ton of shit on us soon. You can feel it in the air. There are tangos out there somewhere. You can count on it. Looking up in the clear blue sky, he takes a long deep breath. Up there. He points skyward. Somewhere is a hello filled with live rounds ready for us. He grins. She swallows nervously, shouldering her rifle, clutching it tighter in preparation. He's right, she can feel it. The air is static and now she can hear a very faint but distant whump of rotor blades. Taking a breath, she prepares herself ready for whatever comes. Then it's there. Out of nowhere. It's like all hell broke loose and bullets zip past her ear. Another whizzing over her head. Fuck. She drops quickly to the ground and Ozzy and Zach crawl in beside her, closing ranks, protecting her from either side. Her heart's beating so hard she thinks it might burst out of her chest, and even though she knows this is only an exercise, the speed and ferocity with which it happens makes her adrenaline levels surge. Would he seriously get authorization for a live fire exercise? She doubted even Darius could pull that off, but then Digby had already warned her, though that may have been a scare tactic. Darius just likes to make it more real. The team deserves nothing less than a full-scale training exercise. Where the hell's the excitement if it's not real? Is what he told her, and she could tell from his face when he said it the idea thrilled him. Her, not so much, and now she's hoping it's not true. But if it was, then she'd prepared thoroughly, making sure, though it added extra weight to her pack, that she had all the supplies she might need for any real casualties. As they lay on the ground pinned to the spot, the hello makes another low sweeping pass, smattering the sand in front of them with a raining hail of bullets. The noise is deafening as they fly in low, blinding them with yellow, sandy dust. Oh man! She grimaces as something wet splatters against her cheek. Fuck! Ozzy cusses loudly as a bullet grazes the top of his arm, shredding his jacket, the blood splattering on Kat's face. You okay? She asks, rapidly moving in closer and pulling medical supplies from her kit. She triages his arm. They look up to a new sound, a loud booming voice. Darius. He can be heard shouting over the swirl of the blinding sandstorm, the hellos whipping up. Get your fucking head down. That's aimed at her. She knows she's sitting too high, and with only a small amount of safety offered by the sand hole the three of them are in, she's trying desperately in the melee of noise and dust to patch Ozzy's wound. Is grimacing, trying to act like it's only a scratch while she quickly and proficiently dresses it with bandages. It's what she does best, and she does it to perfection, still not knowing for sure if the bullets are real. Even practice rounds can do plenty of damage. Then finishing up, she puts her head way down. With the tangos neutralized by the team's return fire, the hello peels away, disappearing as a black speck in the solid blue sky, and as the arid smoke clears, everything on the ground goes quiet. Kat leans her head back in the sand and taking a breath, she closes her eyes. She smiles as she hears Digby calling out, asking if everyone's okay. All right then, let's push on. We need to make that extract point by nightfall. We don't want to get caught out here with our pants down, and you never know what else he might have lined up. Digby laughs. He's high on the heady mix of testosterone and adrenaline. He and Darius, this team, they thrive on it, and she can tell by the overexcited tone in their voices. There's not a moment to take a breath, as Ozzy drags her to her feet and Zach points forward, gesturing towards a high sandy ridge. That's our LZ. Kat squints, shielding her eyes to the sunlight. She looks to the extract point on the ridge in the distance, and it still looks miles away, probably because it is. All right, let's haul ass and pick up some of your slack. Darius pushes them on faster, headed toward a small cluster of rocks. Then it'll be up and over a low rocky ridge before crossing another vast open section of ground and onto where they'll be airlifted out. She's wondering now what other surprises he might have waiting in her Heart's beating so hard that she struggles to breathe. Focusing, she takes slow deep breaths, her lungs filling with the hot arid air, and to counter dehydration she has a long drink of the now warm water in her pack. This is so much harder than any training, or for that matter any mission she's ever been involved in, and Darius really is pushing them to the limit of their endurance. But she smiles, loving every moment, and something inside her doesn't want to give this up. At any cost, this is everything she's ever wanted from her career. Digby drops back from the front of the line, checking everyone's status until he reaches the end with her and Ozzy. Oz, you push up front, hold number 2 position and take over watch. He orders, and Ozzy moves without question, while Digby drops into his position so he's now behind Cat. She can hear him growl and feels the stare of his eyes as they bore into her back, and sure he's looking at her ass, she sighs with annoyance. Ryan, what the hell are you doing? Just checking my medic is okay, and well, she looks damn fine to me. He smiles. Oh, and good job there, by the way, with Oz's arm. You did well under pressure. Thanks. She smiles apprehensively, now noticing Darius turning around to watch them. Ryan, you need to go. Just ignore him, he says. Please. Ryan, don't do this. She frowns. Just go do your job and let me do mine. Yes, ma'am. He grins, saluting her. You know, he calls out loudly. I gotta say, the view here, it's so much better than looking at your ass. D. Cat sighs loudly, closing her eyes. She couldn't be more annoyed with him. That's exactly the type of comment she's been dreading, and it really doesn't help. Ryan, what the hell are you trying to do? She turns on him, her tone sterner and more aggressive. I said just go. Oh, relax, I'm just having some fun with you, and besides, I can't go, I don't want to mess up the formation. He laughs, winking as she stares at him. Anyway, staring at your ass makes for a much better mission. He groans loudly, nonchalantly chewing his gum. He's in a playful mood, enjoying being out here doing this a little too much. Zach shakes his head and laughs, listening to Ryan's teasing, and he turns and smiles. Cat doesn't. She's annoyed and curses under her breath. Fuck. Darius darts them all another disapproving look, turning away from his gaze. She sighs. Then, as she looks again behind her, Digby tips his head, grinning. And with his I wanna fuck you look, she can't help but smile disapprovingly as she turns forward and ignores him. As they get to the rocky outpost, which is bigger than it looked, they climb to the top. It flattens out, again laying waste to another vast expanse of barren land, and as Digby clears the last crumbling boulder, she can hear him trip and stumble. Ah, fuck. He grimaces as the rest of the team keeps going, Darius leading them up faster. Digby clasps a hand to his thigh. Ah. He groans, stopping to sit down. Zach frowns, watching as Digby hobbles forward, and he whistles ahead. Hey. Whoa. Alpha One, hold up. Man down. The rest of the team immediately stops. What the hell's going on? Zach asks, watching as Cat heads back to him and tries to help him to his feet. She frowns with concern, looking at the screwed up look of agony on his face. That doesn't look good. Are you hurt? Yeah. He nods. Yeah, I think I pulled something when I tripped. I heard a snap. Alright, well that's not good. Let me look. Lifting her kit from her shoulders, she places it on the ground and kneels in front of him. She asks him to show her exactly where the pain is, and he points vaguely to the inside of his groin, rubbing it with his hand, and she places her fingers on the indicated area. She feels firmly but gently against the muscle, checking for damage. No, it's higher than that. He frowns as she moves her hand further up, continuing along his thigh, checking for any unusual tightness. No, not quite. Here, let me show you. He grabs at her hand and places it against the large bulge in his pants, his hard firm cock, and immediately she pulls away. Furious, she growls, glaring. She couldn't be angrier. Is this supposed to be a fucking joke? She snarls. What? He laughs at the stone-cold serious look on her face. Oh, small doc. What, you're not gonna put your healing hands on me? Not even to give me some pain relief? What the hell has got into you? Her eyes dart around to the front of the line, just praying Darius hasn't seen what's going on, but he has. You're sick, you know that? I can't believe you're going to screw this up for me. She hushes her voice, hoping that this incident can just go away. Wrong things are about to get a whole lot worse. What the hell's going on back there? Darius screams down the line. Zach sighs loudly. Oh no, you're fucked now, man. He is so pissed. Still full of an excited, playful attitude, and chewing furiously on his gum, Digby sits on the ground with his legs apart and laughs. So that's a no to. A magic rub then, Doc. Fuck you, she curses loudly, inches from his face, her eyes glaring with rage. She takes a breath, so wanting to smack him hard. Looking up, she sighs as Darius comes storming towards them. What the fuck's going on here? She stammers, worried that if he realizes what Digby's been doing, they've been doing joke or not, that they're going to be in trouble. Digby fell and he thought he'd strained something when he climbed that rock. Oh, did he? Really? Darius shakes his head, knowing she's fallen for some ploy by his over-amorous number 2. And let me guess, it was a mistake? What he really wanted was your hand on his dick, right? Digby laughs. You got me. But you know, D, when you get us a medic that looks this hot, what's a guy supposed to do? He leans back and it's like he doesn't care what trouble they're in or how pissed Darius is. It's almost like he's drunk. He's intoxicated by her scent, and being around her is making him high. Darius has no clue what's wrong with him, but he's just as furious as Kat right now. You know, Digby, if she passes this test, which right now seems highly unlikely, I might have to consider who I need on this team. The comment makes Digby immediately focus, and he sobers up, sitting forward. And what the fuck's that supposed to mean? It means you two keep screwing around, especially while we're working, and I'm going to have no choice but to separate you permanently. That means losing one of you from this team. Well, wise up, sunshine, 'cause I need a medic. More than I need an oversexed operator. So, before you pull another stunt like this, think golden boy. Now put your dick away and focus up. Digby frowns. It's his turn for a flare of temper. Wait. He grabs at Darius' arm. What the fuck are you saying? Are you saying you're gonna drop me from this team? 'Cause if you are, you need to make that clear to everyone. He's up on his feet and face to face with Darius, and as they glare at each other, there's a hissing of air through teeth, and Digby growls loudly under his breath. I didn't say that, but you keep fucking around and just maybe I will. You're so full of shit. You know that? And you know this team won't follow you without me. He grins as they continue staring eye to eye at each other. Oh, you want to test that theory? 'Cause I can arrange it. Just try me. Darius is growing more furious, and Zach and Bud sprint back to intervene, separating the pair of them. Whoa. Now just calm the hell down and both of you take a breath. Cutie moves in next to an extremely worried Cat. She's bewildered by their behavior. Cutie smiles. Don't worry, it will be fine, they do it from time to time. She sighs, biting her lip and watching as Darius strides away, distancing himself from the situation. I'm sorry. She quickly apologizes. It was my fault. I should have known he was just joking, and I shouldn't have fallen for it. Pick your fucking gear up. He sneers at her, and she takes a step back, apprehensive of his tone. As she does, Darius takes hold of her, his hands grabbing forcefully at her body protector. You mess my fucking team up and I'll make sure you never work in another unit anywhere. Am I being clear? She gulps nervously. Not wanting to anger him more, she nods. Yeah, clear. But I didn't do this. I mean, I didn't know he was. I don't want to hear it. I said get your fucking gear. Hey, asshole. Get your fucking hands off her. Digby interjects. This was my mess up, not hers. It was just a damn joke, so lighten up. Joke? You want to joke around? Grow up, this is a fucking exercise. You know. What? You'd have never pulled shit like this before. Before? Before what? Digby pushes furiously against Darius, and Zach steps in. Digby, back off, man. Before her, Darius answers. Fuck you. Digby glares, his eyes filled with icy rage, his inner wolf pacing and clawing at his insides to get out. Zach steps back and sighs, but then, before they exchange any more words, Digby crashes to the ground, his legs kicked from under him. What the foo? As he scrambles to get up, Darius puts his boot on him, firmly holding him down. Just stay the hell down. What the hell was that for? Zach frowns furiously, and he now turns on Darius. As the rest of the team steps up, Ozzy's desperately trying to calm everyone, but Darius shoves him away as he leans over Digby. You want to play at being her patient, then fine. He kicks again, intentionally hard this time, at Digby's shin, making him whimper. His face grimaces in pain and Darius kicks him again in the thigh. It tingles with numbness, then deadens, and Digby lays still on the ground as Darius walks away. Dragging his hands through his hair, Darius takes a breath, calming himself. What the fuck was that for? Digby moans loudly as pain sears up his thigh, and he closes his eyes and lays back. Darius, what the hell are you doing, man? Ozzy pushes against his chest but is instantly wafted away like he's nothing. Glaring, Darius smiles and turns his attention from Ozzy back to Cat. Looks like you got yourself a patient. He then looks at his watch and faces toward the extract point. Question is, can you get him to exfil before the hello arrives at first light? He grins smugly, watching the confused look on her face. Cat frowns, looking at Digby then back to Darius. But there's nothing wrong with him, he just needs to walk it off. She swallows apprehensively as Darius kicks Digby again, much harder this time. Wait! Cat yells. Just stop it. What the hell are you doing? I don't know what you want from me. I told you he's your patient. You need to get him to the extract point. What? Get him over there? I mean, how? From the ground, Digby concedes. Alright, I'm sorry. That's what you wanna hear. I apologize. Saying sorry to Darius doesn't come easy, but Digby swallows his pride. Oh, come on, man, I've apologized. Alright, I shouldn't have joked around, it won't happen again. Too little, too late. I warned you about fucking around with her, but you just can't keep it in your pants, can you? You knew this was gonna happen, but you just accelerated the process. Oh, Darius, come on, man, she can't do this. It's impossible. Come on, you've never asked any of the others to do it. Not this far out. Ozzy and Bud both sigh as they stare at the 1.5 clicks to the exfil point and exchange doubtful looks. Darius, he's right, man. Ozzy pleads. It's a hell of a long way out. Do I look like I care? You pair need to haul ass. Cutie, Zach, you as well. Mean it? Go. Fine. There's a group sigh and a chorus of fuck it. And sorry. Cat. She frowns, still unsure exactly what's going on. What, you're just gonna leave us here? Yeah, pretty much. You can see where the exfil point is, right? So all you gotta do is get him there. Fine, she says, knowing she and Digby are in for a long walk if they don't do as they're told. The rest of the team stays on alert, watching just in case anything happens. Knowing Digby's not likely to just take this, Zach keeps an attentive eye still, waiting for tempers to flare as Digby and Darius are right on the point of eruption. What the fuck are you all staring at? I said. How's it? Go on, get gone. Double quick. Reluctantly they turn, and with a huge sigh, Zach takes point and leads them at a steady pace across the sandy terrain. She's never gonna do it. He's never asked any of the others to do it this far out. Bud sighs but stops talking as Ozzy glares, although he's only stating what they all know. Man, just leave it, alright. He's made up his mind. You know as well as I do. Nothing we say is gonna change that. We say anything, we're only gonna make it worse, and it's not our place to question. They need to work it out between themselves. Dick shouldn't have been such an ass. This has been comin' for days. Zach sighs. He knew what was gonna happen if he kept poking the bear's gonna bite back, and this is exactly why them fucking and her being on the team is not a good idea. It's too intense. You know, I'm not sure she's the best thing for us. She's messin' with Dick's head, and I for one don't like it. Look, they'll sort it out. Digby just needs to learn his lesson and put his libido back in the box. Cat sound, and I like her. Ozzy says. Yeah, well, she ain't got a prayer now. From what I can see, Digby just blew it for her. She'll do it. Cutie takes them all by surprise. What the hell did you say? Isa said she'll DDD. QT's stammer becomes worse as the eyes of the group stare at him. He never says much, ever, and so his defense of Cat comes as a surprise. Do I it? She's SPP special. Zach frowns, dismissing his comment. Cutie, what the hell are you talking about? Just go back to sleep. He glances behind. Digby still laying on the ground. Darius talking to Cat. Dick sure as hell is gonna be pissed though. Yeah, but I don't mind. But grins. Casa. I thought for damn sure it was gonna be me again for the long walk back. Chapter 15. Wait. I don't understand what the hell you're expecting me to do here. He's your casualty, Lieutenant, you decide. As I said, all you've got to do is get him to exfil. It's your problem to work out the how. Darius smiles, smug and so sure of himself, as he turns his attention back to Digby, who's still laid on the ground rubbing his leg and nursing a bruised ego. I guess I don't need to explain this to you. You remember how it works. You know to play dead. Oh, and I'm warning you, you help her, you walk, and that's it, she's gone from this team. Are we clear? Yeah, we're clear, I get it. Shit. Digby sighs loudly as he lifts his head, staring at Kat, who's still confused about what she's expected to do. Chopper will be here for exfil at first light. Darius checks the time on his watch and smiles. If you're not there with your casualty, then you both get left behind. It's as simple as that. Wait, so what exactly do you want me to do? Her frown deepens in lines across her sweaty brow. If I heard you right, you just told him he can't walk, so then how the hell are we supposed to get there? Oh, you'll figure it out, I'm sure. I mean, you covered casualty evac in training, right? Never leave a man behind and all that. He smiles. He couldn't be any more annoyingly smug if he tried. Oh, and Digby, I hope you're looking forward to that long walk back. Oh, you asshole, you're fucking loving this, he hisses through his clenched teeth. Then, picking up one of the larger rocks laid by his feet, he throws it as hard as he can in Darius's direction. Ah, fuck. He sighs, but with his leg still dead, he falls backward into the sand and closes his eyes. Kat watches in shock as Darius sprints away. This is impossible. She sighs. No, not impossible, but that's not the point. The point is you're not meant to get us there. Well, that's what he's hoping to. Wait, not impossible? Then how? She frowns. How would you do it? Carry you. He smiles, laughing at the way she quizzically cocks her eyebrow. Well, you asked, and that's how I do it. That's how he'd do it too. What? You can't be serious? Have you seen how far it is? I can't carry you. That distance, no fucking way. Shit. She rubs her head, looking again at how far they have to go. Well, if you can't, he says, then we need to turn around and walk back. Walk back? Are you fucking kidding me? She drops to the ground next to him, looking back at the 15 miles of desert scrub from where they've just come. Fuck. She sighs with a growing disquiet of anger building inside. You did this. You and your stupid fucking joke. You pissed him off. And you made him do this. What? No, I didn't do this. Okay, granted, maybe he did it a little further out than I anticipated he would, but Kat, he had this plan. This is his test. This is what he does, and to be honest, I'm a little pissed off. Because it should have been Bud sat here instead of me. Bud? Why the hell would it have been Bud? Because Darius always chooses the heaviest of us, so you kinda got a bonus with it being me. I mean, if you're looking for a positive angle to spin on this. He grins. Oh yeah, I'm thrilled, can't you tell? She sighs. And that theory would be great, except for one tiny detail. Bud's not the heaviest. She frowns, shaking her head. You are. What? Wait, no way. There is no way I can be heavier than Bud. Have you seen that man? I mean, you've seen how much he eats. He's like a human trash can. Digby, that coming from you. It's not even funny, but no, seriously, you're 5 pounds heavier than him. Her lip curls, and despite their situation, she smiles. It's funny because she can see how annoyed it makes him. What the fuck, since when? I guess since I weighed you all. I told you those records were out of date. You are definitely heavier. Hell. Well, I've got to deal with that shit when we get back, though. You no, he grins playfully. It might just be because my assets are bigger. He smiles, grabbing his groin. She frowns, ignoring him, and takes a deep breath. Oh damn. After those hellos, I really thought I had this licked. But now he's just snatched it away at the end. Her head drops between her knees, and deflated, she sips some more water. Hot and exhausted, she takes a breath. Guess he wins, and he got what he wanted, me gone from the team. Not necessarily, not if you don't let him. You could show him you can do it. And that would wipe that smug grin off his face. But it's up to you now. Do you want to take a shot at this team? Or do you want to call it a day? You know what you need to do, but you're going to have to use Luna. You'll need to channel her strength. I mean, if you really want to do this. I told you I want to do this myself. She is not part of my life. Fine, then he wins, and we should head back. No point in sitting here waitin'. It's not like he's gonna change his mind and come back for us. What? She frowns. Wait, just hold on. You want me to quit just like that? Well, yeah, just like that. I'm hungry and there's no point us staying here if you're not gonna do this. For one, it's wasting daylight. Hold up. I didn't say I wasn't going to do it, just give me a minute. I need to think. She takes a breath, looking at how far they came and how far they have to go to the ridge. Look, you've done this before, right? In training. You know you can carry the weight, so you partnered up at advanced training, right? I mean, you didn't skip that part. No, I didn't skip anything. It's just, well, it wasn't that damn far. No, that's true, and to be honest, well, none of the other medics have done. But all of them gave it a go. Oh, except that one. We had this one medic. Darius scared him to death, and we had to call up a medevac. He laughs. But I get the impression Darius doesn't scare you all that much. No, he doesn't scare me, but he pisses me off. She frowns as she remembers him throwing her books around her office and his attitude and tone towards her. Well, that's good, so channel it in the right direction. Come on, Cat, I know you can do this. She sighs loudly as she looks across the open stretch of ground, the others all now a mere speck on the horizon. Digby stands, pulling her to her feet and picking up her kit. So what's it to be? He goes to step in the opposite direction, and with a momentary pause she grabs his arm. Wait. Then, looking him in the eyes, she takes a breath. Alright, Smon. I'm gonna do it. I can't bear to look at his smug face if I don't. Yeah, and you know Darius, he does smug nearly as well as he does arrogant. He laughs as he places a hand gently against her cheek and strokes her face. Cat, you can do this. She sips more water and takes another breath. Okay, well, let's see how heavy you really are. Fuck. She cusses loudly, angry and frustrated with herself. I need to stop. Goddammit, shit. I thought I could do this. She bends over, dropping Digby with a heavy thud onto the ground. The sand, which he reminds her is not a soft landing. Taking deep gasps of air, she rests her hands on her knees. She's exhausted. Her back aches and her shoulders hurt, and her legs are shaking from the surge of adrenaline coursing through her body. It's the fourth time she's been forced to stop in the last half hour, and each time it's becoming harder to get going again. Picking him up is becoming a strain, and the effort required saps every reserve of the little energy she has left. The more exhausted she becomes, the shorter between rest stops. But slowly and determinately, step by step, she's making progress, and they're nearly there. Now, the sun is setting and it's becoming cooler, which helps. As they sit down and rest again to take on more water, she checks her reserves. They're low, and she's conscious they won't have enough left for the long walk back if she fails. Taking a breath, she sighs loudly, looking towards the ridge they need to get to. It's in clear view now, and they can make out the others individually, standing in a line across the top, watching them. She sighs. To quit now would be heartbreaking, but her legs are shaking from sheer exhaustion and they feel like jello. She's not even sure they can hold her own weight, let alone Digby's. Come on, Cat, you've got this. It's not far now. Digby's still willing her on. The impossible is nearly over, and he's in awe of her effort, even doubting how he would have fared on this terrain. But now he can see that it's taken everything, and he worries it really is just a step too far. Darius has put it just out of her reach. How in God's name would they even have the energy to walk back? He has no idea. Will you shut the fuck up? You know what? I can't listen to you anymore. She gasps. You did this. I should never have got involved with you. It was a huge mistake, and it's going to cost me my place. Laying back in the sand, resting, she catches her breath. But I can't let him fucking win. I can't look him in the eye ever again if I don't do this. Leaning on her elbows, she stares again at the ridge. Ark, he's a complete asshole. She grits her teeth and flops back, closing her eyes. Cat, come on, you've said that every time, and every time you've gone farther. One last push and this is over. You've done it. Come on, Cat. He grits his teeth and hisses at her. Cat, get the fuck up, he orders. Hell, I can smell food. And I don't know about you, but I am fucking hungry. Just one more push and you've done it. You know, if you don't shut the hell up, then I might just murder you here and bury you in the sand so no one can find you. She growls. She takes a deep breath to calm herself. She wants to cry from sheer exhaustion. Her Luna claws to get out, ready to rip everyone's throats out, even though she probably doesn't have the energy right now. You know, I wish we were back In that forest lying in the grass in the moonlight, she says, smiling. She wipes sand from her mouth and takes another drink, enjoying the now cooler evening air. Laying back, she looks up at the stars. She takes a deep breath and smiles. Tell me a story. Tell you a story? He laughs. Digby cocks his head to one side and frowns. You want a story right now? About what? I don't know. Tell me about you. She bows her head playfully and turns, leaned on her elbow, resting in the sand as she looks at him. How come you're here doing this? Well, what the hell else would I do? I mean, where else does an alpha wolf get to legally kill people and keep a pack this day and age? The military is perfect. No one questions too much, and it's an outlet for all that pent-up aggression. But you've got to know that, right? He laughs. Yeah, true, but what I don't understand is that the guys, Zach, Bud, us, they all look to you. I mean, Darius seems kinda out of it. Guess it doesn't help that he's a moody fuck most of the time. She laughs. But still, they treat you like the pack leader. Maybe because I am, for them? So what, you were a bonded pack before he came along? I don't understand why you would let him take over. I mean, I've never known two male alphas in a pack. Well, apart from a couple of gay alpha friends. It works for them, but not in this situation. How do you even get that to work? Look, Darius, he's different. Besides that, we've been together. Hell, more years than I want to count. Something happened and, well, we saved each other and I guess we're bonded. But the leadership thing. He grins. You can blame the Navy for that. Truth is, I got my ass busted down from Master Chief. Would you believe I can't hold my temper? I kinda hit a commander. Anyway, I'm not cut out for that bullshit. All that sucking up to cake eaters. Darius, he can pull that off. He likes all that crap, plus they don't give him so much shit, mostly because they're afraid of him. Yeah, I noticed that. People are scared of him. So I guess that's why Zach looks to you. I can tell he doesn't see Darius as his leader. Zach's good. He's my stepbrother, adopted brother foster? Oh hell, I don't know what you call it officially, but we're brothers, grew up together. His mom, well, she fostered me. You're right, they have their issues, but there's more to it. It's not simple. As I said, Darius, look, we should think about making a move. So what's it to be? When she doesn't move, he tries again. Cat, do you hear me? We should. Yeah, I heard you. I'm just enjoying the moment. Being out here with you, it feels so strange. Do you know, I wanted this job for so long and then, boom. Here I am doing what I wanted. And then there's what's happened between us. That's real madness. But maybe it's meant to be? Did you consider that maybe we're fated? You think? She frowns, taking a breath, not wanting to believe it but having to admit it crossed her mind too. No, I think it's more like a coincidence. Right, okay, yeah, sure. So what, you just randomly turned up on my doorstep? Like that? Cat, he pauses, stroking her face, brushing sand from her cheek, and then reconsiders. Nothing. I think we should go. She sits up and looks him in the eyes. What was the story? You said your foster mom told you a story about a Luna wolf. What was it about? Oh, it was a long time ago. I don't really remember it now. She said how beautiful she was and how she stalked the night. That all the pack leaders wanted her. Something about one of the alphas. He got jealous and claimed her for his own. They nodded and she got pregnant, but a few days after giving birth in the forest, she was killed by a hunter. Wow, that is sad. She frowns. What happened with the pup? Did it survive? Oh, I don't really remember the rest except everything was okay, and it ended happily. He smiles, trying to kiss her. Now I don't know about you, but I am fucking starving. So can we make a move? She nods. Kneeling in front of him, she gently places her lips to his. And they kiss. You know I'm going to do this just to prove that asshole wrong. He wraps his hands in her hair, staring her in the eyes. I know you are. Looks like you owe me that $50, cutie. She's not going to do it. Zach smiles, adjusting the binoculars. She's done in. Shit. Ozzy sighs, he's also watching. Hell, I thought she had it licked. Man, and she got so fucking close. He turns around and frowns at Darius. Come on, man, just let us go get them. Hell, she's gotten closer than anyone we've ever had, and you started her further out. You know, that was a punk move. By the way, you also need to think. Digby's gonna rip your throat out if he misses dinner. Zach laughs. Digby brought this on himself. He needs to wake the fuck up. She may be Right in his dick, but she's screwing his brain too, Darius says. Besides, she's not done what I asked. I told her to get her casualty to exfil. It's not my problem if she can't. No medevac hello's going to sit waiting under fire for her to get up off her ass. Yeah, but come on man, they're like only a few 100 feet away. If this were for real, we'd go get them. No, this doesn't end till Digby's laying here at my feet. Man, no way is she gonna get him up that ridge. Hell, I doubt even I could do that. Ozzy frowns. Surely you don't really expect her to do that? Darius, you can't be serious. The whole team now turns around, growling in unison as they stare at him. Yeah, sure I can, why not? Look, I'm not giving her any special treatment. She wants to be one of this team, then she gets treated like one of this team in every way. Well, it's not special treatment, 'cause none of the other damn medics have made this far. Come on man, you're cutting your nose to spite your face. We need it. Medic to get back operational, and she's more than proved that she's capable. And I for one say we help them. Ozzy, when I want your opinion on a leadership decision, I'll let you know. For now, shut the hell up. Darius takes a breath, angry at Oz's insolent tone. You know I do this for a reason, because I need to know if one of you is down and you're counting on her, that she can get you out of some hellhole to safety. No, you're just being a fucking jackass is what it is, Ozzy mumbles angrily under his breath, and placing the binoculars back against this face, he quietly wills her on. Come on Cat, you've got this. Nope. I hate to say it, but her legs have gone, there's no way she can do it. Now, says Zach. K-Cat's SPSP special. She'll do it, says Cutie. Will you stop fucking saying that and just give me my damn money, says Zach. Hey. Bud shoves Zach, shutting him up, and continues. Leave him alone. Sometimes you can be a real bully. Now, just wait because it's not over yet. Anyway, Ozzy says, smiling. Look, she's up on her feet. Let me see that. Darius frowns, grabbing the binoculars. He groans deep into his chest because Oz is right, she is up. Oh, come on Digby, turn around. Head back and just give me what I want. Ozzy glares at him and Zach sighs, shaking his head. So I was right, you're more concerned about getting one over on Digby. Darius doesn't answer and Zach pushes him in the chest. I said, am I right? Grinding his teeth, and in one lurching movement, Darius pushes Zach to the ground. Are you questioning me? He frowns sternly. Just be careful, Zach, and remember your place in this team. He takes a breath as Ozzy and Bud close in. Around them, Zach still on the ground, as 3 sets of steely blue eyes focus on their leader. Digby needs bringing down a peg. Since she got here, something's not right, and I need him to get back in line, and for this team to buckle up. If we're getting back out there, then I need him focused and with her around. I'm not sure if he can do that. Digby will be fine. Oz snarls as Zach gets to his feet. You think that too, Zach? Do you really think Digby's okay, or are you not convinced? I don't think you're so sure our lady medic is good for him. I don't know, not for sure. Yeah, I'll admit I've got some reservations. You're right, she is screwing with his head. But it's new, it'll pass, it always does. It's just a phase, an infatuation, and he'll come round. I hope you're right, because if there's something more to this something that's gonna fuck with this team, then I don't want her here. So if you've got any concerns, then you know what you need to do. Yeah, right. It's team first, don't worry. Digby's best interests are my best interests always. Look, just cost some piece of ass's ton in his head, it don't mean she's turned mine. I've got my eyes wide open, but I still think Oz is right. She's done enough to prove herself. Fine. Well, let's see if she can get to the finish line then. Darius smiles. With a heaviness to his tone, he heads away from them. Bud, get this dinner cleared away now. What? Wait, you're not gonna see if they make it back first? You know, Digby's going to be starving when he gets here. And I said clear it up. What don't you understand? Ozzy sighs, looking at Bud as he double-checks the order again. You know, Digby will tear your head off if he gets back and there's no food, and to be honest, I wouldn't blame him. Darius groans and then reluctantly he nods. All right, keep one dinner back. They can decide between them who needs it the most. Oh, come on man, they've gotta eat. Darius man, you can't be serious. Bud sighs, shaking his head in disbelief. I said, clear it up. That's an order. The others all groan, out of earshot, they hope. Wow. Man, he seriously got it in for her, Oz says. He sure has. Her being on this team, I don't know whose head she's screwing. With more Digby or him. Zack agrees. Alright, so let's do as the man says and get this chow cleared away pronto. Cat, come on, get up, we gotta go. Yeah, just give me a minute. She leans back on the ground, still rested on her elbows, watching as Digby plays with the fast-cooling sand, making heaped shapes and patterns. He's bored. So if I do this, she swallows apprehensively. That's it, I've made the team. I mean, there aren't any more surprises. Yeah, pretty much. Digby frowns, avoiding her gaze, still letting the sand sift through his fingers. What does that mean? She sighs. Digby, what did you mean, pretty much? Is that yes or no? Don't tell me I go through all this bullshit and I still might not make it. No, it's nothing to worry about. We still have to vote, but it's just a formality. The team always gets the final say. He smiles, looking up. But you have nothing to worry about. A vote? On my joining the team. Oh great. Hey, come on, you pass Darius's test and then the team votes. It's more like a tradition. She lays her head back, the sand sticking to her sweating brow. Well then I'm out. You should have told me that earlier. Darius is never going to vote for me to be on that team. Shit. So this was all for nothing. Hey no. No, not for nothing. Look, Darius doesn't get a vote, it's just the rest of the guys. It has to be a unanimous vote, but it'll be fine. The guys all like you. All you have to do is get me across that piece of ground. And the rest is in the bag. In the bag? Are you sure about that? I mean, are you sure everyone wants me on the team? Yeah, I'm sure. What, even Zack? You sure he wants me? I mean, he's been pretty cold since I arrived and I'm not so sure if he thinks I'm right. Zack'll be fine, I promise. He'll do what I want. You don't need to worry about that, just concentrate on getting me there. He'll do what you want? And what about what Darius wants? I mean, maybe Zack'll vote with him, not you. No, I told you before, Zack won't go against me. I promise you. I hope you're right, because I don't think I could take looking at their faces if they don't want me. She sighs, wiping her hand over her head. Cotton covered in sand, she feels like she could cry. Hey, come on. Digby can see the emotions, the tiredness, and the utter exhaustion in her face. Let's just do this. Up there is food and a bed. Waitin'. We sure as hell don't want to be walking back, right? I'll even massage your shoulders when we get there, and maybe we could make out under the stars. He laughs as she glares, staring at him in disbelief. I'm not serious, it's just a joke. He grins. Then, positioning himself behind her, he rubs his fingers against her neck before dropping a light kiss on her marked skin. Digby, stop it. She's annoyed with him but still enjoys his touch. This is not appropriate, and they're probably watching us. She gestures towards the ridge. So what? Who cares what they can see? I don't. He grins as the thoughts of sex out here in the open desert skip playfully through his mind. Digby, you're not helping my case here. Maybe not, but you're helping me. He grins, kissing her again, and this time he dares to flick his tongue against the sensitive part of her neck. It makes her groan, and he continues working his fingers into the muscles of her shoulders. Ugh! She cries out, wincing in pain. Hey, what's going on? He frowns, watching as she pulls at her uniform and pulls the strap to her body armor to one side. It's cut a deep wound in her flesh from the weight rubbing against it. Oh hell. You need to put something on that. Yeah, I'll sort it out when we're done. No, Cat, put something on it now. You can't continue with it like that. He feels a pang of guilt, a sick feeling that he's inflicted pain on her, and reaching into his own medikit for some wadding dressings, he then presses them against the open wound. She flinches, pulling away as he tries to slip the dressing under the strap of her sports bra, trying to cushion it from the webbing that's rubbing. Will you just keep still and let me do this? For a medic, you don't make a good patient. We never do. She smiles. He finishes dressing it and stares at her. Cat, look at me. She glances up quickly and he frowns. No, I mean, look at me, really look at me. I want to see her, show me. Where is she? Swallowing nervously, Cat closes her eyes. Digby, don't. Cat, you're gonna need to find her if you're gonna finish this. It's the only way. Cat, you need her. She takes a breath and then stares at him. Her green eyes focus as he holds his hand under her chin. He smiles at the sudden flashing glimmer of gold green eyes. There she is. He groans, and now his own inner wolf growls, in frustration, wanting to be released. Now use her. She sighs with a heavy heart. You know I'm not going to make it up that. Ridge, not alone. I can't do that. And even she's too exhausted. You won't have to. The guys are there, they'll help us. Cat, you've got this. Now just get up off your ass. Whatever happens from now on is down to you. He smiles, dropping a final firm and reassuring kiss against her lips as she stands up. That's better, now come on, let's go get something to eat. She's not convinced she can even lift him again. Never mind walk the remaining distance. But she must try, because if she doesn't, then she will lose the only thing she ever wanted, her place on the team.